not even gonna ask what that was just about. That's a great way to start off things. And also some enemy encounters. Ah, this is the same basic climb and take on enemies as you go. Just grab and that's it. Oh, I didn't kill him. And somehow it's letting me do this. Over and over and over. And as I said, I really don't need any more experience at this point, so... Let's what's down here. There's a chest over there, actually. I'm gonna have to remember that. Nothing down here. Oh, it didn't even look like he should have grabbed it, but he somehow did. I believe grabbing from directly below will just skip all the pounding animation. Kratos will just throw them like so. Let's see. Ooh, that'll come in handy. Oh god. What if I can ring them out? Probably not really worth it, but oh well. Get off. There's not much else to really say in this part, but I think this is like the last time we'll ever have to do any sort of climbing sequence. I can just knock you off. At the very least, God of War 3 actually did kind of move on, climb on combat on the walls, because there's like an actual little combo system that functions just like it does on ground. God of War 2 sadly didn't do any of that. Oh, you can see Athens as well in the background. That's also cool. Let's see. We're probably meant to go down there, but I'm trying to find that chest, actually. Because we saw one earlier. I don't know where that is. So anyway, I'm actually already on summer break. I just finished last week. Starting my summer job soon, hopefully, but it's been pretty slow and I've had to take care of my mom the past few days. So, I've had to cut work a bunch of times just for her, and it's kind of been bad. Since the few times where I had work, there was actually quite a bit I could have done. And I don't really get that many hours. I only get like 20 a week. So it kind of blows. Also hoping that my college finally gets Frozen on DVD, because I've heard all my friends talking about it. I'm like, okay, you guys have been talking about it, so I need to see what's so good about it. I'm only really interested because Kirsten Bell's in it, and I've seen her in Veronica Mars and Assassin's Creed. The latter of which, Kirsten Bell plays Lucy Stillman. I still need to actually consider LPing Assassin's Creed, but I still have to really see how things go, to say the least. Because I've mentioned that I have my reasons for not doing this by really loving the series. I don't know. And I believe we're totally done. That's it. So you basically reach here, you're completely done. There's nothing else to it. And don't be silly and go down that again. could probably reset with a restart checkpoint feature. But let's not chance it. Either way, I really do be taking Frozen. I mean, I've watched just about every recent Disney animated film, because unlike live action, Disney hasn't really spawned animated films recently. Because I know a bunch of their 90 films didn't really cut it per se. So we get this epic music for when we get the first set of platforms coming out, but we don't get any music when it comes out. Oh, okay. No help for some reason. I'll save this because we do have a fight coming up and we can use some science fiction stuff. I could really use some science fiction to start my day.
The path before Kratos was clear, but still, the memories came rushing back, as familiar and permanent as the blades chained to his wrists. Memories of what he'd done in the name of Ares. Memories of how he'd become a servant to the god of war. A beast, his humanity robbed, and replaced only with the will to murder. No one was safe. Entire armies fell before Kratos, and the soldiers who followed him on his unending path of conquest, all in the name of his master. Those who offered resistance of any kind were dealt with quickly.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
Emboldened by the god of war, Kratos' army was ruthless, feared throughout the world for their brutality. All that mattered was conquest in the name of Kratos, their great leader, who had become near invincible. He feared nothing. Yet there was something about this temple, something forbidden. All his instincts told him he should never cross its threshold. Never step inside.
Beware, Kratos. The dangers in the temple are greater than you know.
But the village oracle's warning fell on deaf ears. His ambition would not be denied. All who opposed him would die. In that instant, the glory he had reveled in turned to horror. The image of his two final victims would stay with him for all his days. With that act, Kratos knew he could no longer serve his master. He had but one calling now, the death of Ares. He would murder the god of war.
Ares, you will die for what you did that night.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering what exactly happened. First, we've got more Hades Tormentor Minotaur, whatever they're called. So I'll show off my strategy of using Science Rage in tandem with Army of Hades, and it pretty much wrecks everything. I'm pretty sure it will almost kill these Minotaurs. Well, that did at least. Not really the best example, but whatever. Anyway, that flashback, it's basically... I'm pretty sure most people can probably tell who those two victims are, but I'm still not going to spoil it for people who have not played the game and don't really know anything about the series. Why is there dramatic music still playing? there's no enemies here. Okay. There's one more flashback, and then the entire story of Kratos is going to be revealed. At that time, I'm probably going to go on a little rant about something I don't like about Kratos' backstory. At least what they've done recently with the prequel games and all. There's nothing down here. Although, that village oracle, there is also some debate on her, which I'm also going to go over because, frankly, I don't understand some of said debate because it doesn't really make sense. It's like on the identity of who she really is and stuff, which they basically make it very clear that's just a village oracle, nothing more. But people have these crazy theories. There is quite a bit of debate on stuff in God of War, which I don't really understand, because developers make it very clear that this is that, and that this person is this person, that thing is that thing, and that happened. Like, the identity of the Gravekeeper we saw before we rescued the Oracle has been revealed in Ghost of Sparta. And I believe the developers also said outside of it that the identity of the Gravekeeper is canon. Identity Ghost of Sparta to say it. But people are still having their doubts, which I just don't understand. I'm pretty sure, like, back in 2010, people had their doubts. I'm not sure in to this day, 2014, people still have that doubt. More on that later, because we actually have one of our last tasks up ahead. We just a little more, and then we are pretty much at Pandora's box. If I can make one suggestion, you are definitely going to want to watch your magic usage. I honestly highly recommend, because we have one fight that can be really, really annoying in my opinion, and you're going to want your magic. There's going to be a fight before that that's going to tempt you to want to use your magic, and I have succumbed to that temptation. It's trollish to say the least. But you're going to see what I mean. We have a couple of huge enemies, I think like a Cyclops or two, a couple of smaller enemies with Cerber seeds. But then there's something kind of more annoying up ahead. We got the switch here, we need to find a way to open that door. There's another one, so we're gonna have to think of something. You might be thinking that you're gonna want to have the statue on that switch, but we need to find another one. There will be a way to get that switch pressed down. Pretty sure Kratos will break it, but oh well. I mean, again, we've seen all the crazy stuff Kratos has done in this game alone. Oh, I'm gonna miss this after God of War 2. Doesn't really appear much in God of War 2 itself, but it's still there. I think maybe I can actually kind of relax on my health for a little. I mean, like, in God of War 3, I think that's kind of where the combat's starting to get a bit nerfed, because I know in that game, like, when you throw enemies, you can't really aim how you throw them. Like, I think Kratos just like auto locks onto it. It's kind of weird. Which is weird because God of War 3 is probably the most balanced of the series, honestly. Because I never really had a problem except for just a few fights, but that was kind of balanced by how God of War 3 also had some fairly easy fights at times. And also probably because some of those fights where I had problems with, they were just not that funny. There's one boss, which Big V probably knows what I'm talking about, that can be really, really cheap. And now if you fuck up on the quick time event, you have to restart. That never happens elsewhere in the series. And that really pisses me off still. We've got the Cyclops, and then we have also some Cerber seeds. I'm gonna go more on God of War 3. Yeah, just get to that. Maybe after God of War 2. I want to wait for... There they are, the Cerber seeds. I feel the server seeds, because of how they can just mutate almost any time, are going to be probably the problem. I said before it's probably not that you probably shouldn't use, what is it? Poseidon's Rage, but that's only really because of the fact that I'm pretty sure most people, they might go for that health, that health chest. I'm saving that though, just because of these things. Or at least I'm gonna, might maybe save that. Not really too weird on health though. I mean, the server seeds again because of the health orb they give. That's great. Although I did kind of waste that. Come on, stomp on the puppy. Stomp on the dog. Of course, he happens to kill it when I really want. When I'm ready to stomp on the damn thing. Aw, there we go. Got enough health. I think this may have something. Okay, yeah, there is another health magic test. That's good. So I guess as long as you save a little bit of your magic, like as long as you don't use both magic tests, you should be fine. Like where you're left without any. I always forget about that one magic chest, really. Oh, because it's actually in it. Oops. So first things we're going to want to do is we're going to want to crack this open. And then we're going to want to move it again. Nice thing though is that it comes back up when you start to rotate. That's awesome. And then we're going to want to have this hold down this switch here. It's worth noting this is when the other Cyclops start to spawn, but I think they're the only other enemies. There's a number of server spears, thank God. Should hold it down. Actually, I'm just going to check something real quick, actually. Give me a second. Okay, I actually wanted to check this out. Almost forgot. Very nice. It's also worth noting, in my opinion, when I was trying to actually get the Speed of Jason McDonald trophy, this is where I really started to worry that I was gonna screw up. Like, at this point, quite a number of the fights are pretty much skippable. And I feel at this point, if you have like maybe like a half hour or so left, it's definitely, maybe not a half hour, but maybe an hour or so, and you're up to this point, or a half hour, I feel it's definitely worth your time to try and skip some of these fights. Because, like, these Cyclops, for instance, you can skip. And then there's gonna like be maybe only 2 or so as required. Like, really, as soon as you get up, as soon as you ascend through the elevator in Pandora's Temple, you're pretty much fine. Like, there's only a few other required fights.